Hi, I'm Nick. I love movies. I love watching movies. I love collecting movies. This is a video about my collection. I recorded a video like this in October 2020, but I never finished it, and my collection has grown so much since then that there's no point in continuing that version when I could just make a new one. As you can see, it's pretty big, it could be bigger, and it'll probably continue to grow. This isn't even the whole thing. There's a drawer of box sets right there. There's quite a few movies that I bought that are in the family collection. Either because I don't have the room in my room, or just because they're more universally loved by the family. I even have this big bag of stuff that I haven't even organized yet, alright? But that's a long enough intro. Let's actually get into this collection. So as you can see, I do have some books and stuff on this shelf, and DS games and CDs there, a bunch of other crap. There's not a lot of room for me to continue this collection, but I'm gonna try. And you can probably also tell that it's not really it's not very organized. So I don't really know what happened. I think I started alphabetically by name of director with the DVDs, and that continued down here until I just reached alphabetical order in general, which started there and went down to the end. Of course, I ran out of room by going over here and up here and stuff. And the Blu-rays would go up like that, alphabetical order, and then director continued over here. But then these aren't in any order, these aren't in any order, and these aren't in any order. So I probably won't show off every single thing that I own, because this video will probably go on for about 5 hours if I did that. So if you really want to know every single film that I own, I recommend checking out the letterbox list in the description below. It lists off every single one of these, box sets included. I even have a thing in the description of that list that mentions the things that aren't on Letterboxd, like certain TV shows. Real quick aside, you may be asking, why do you have such a big collection? Why don't you just watch everything on streaming? Because streaming services, they suck. They will constantly drop in quality. Things that you wanted to watch will just leave at random moments, often without warning. Streaming services in general are just extremely unreliable in comparison to the incredibly reliable medium of physical video. You'll never lose quality, you'll never lose bandwidth, and often they come with cool special features. And also it just looks cool. Some people collect baseball cards, some people collect clothes. I collect these, and some comic books too. The answer is because I'm a giant fucking nerd. Now, what kind of physical collection video would this be if I didn't start with the boutiques? First up, Criterion. So as you can see, I don't have a lot of Criterions. That's because they don't distribute in Australia, and they're bloody expensive. I do like them a lot, and these films are fantastic and mean a lot to me. Alfonso Cuarón's Roma, the only Criterion to actually be released in Australia. Akira Kurosawa's Dreams. Seijun Suzuki's Tokyo Drifter. How cool is that fucking cover art? Orson Welles' F for Fake, a really good documentary about forgery. And Terry Gilliam's The Fisher King. Next up, Arrow Video. Now, I have a few more of these because they're a lot cheaper, they often have more sales, and shipping to Australia is way better. Takashi Miike's Audition. Takashi Miike's Dead or Alive trilogy. Takashi Miike's Happiness of the Katakuris. 3 things by Takashi Miike. The Female Prisoner Scorpion box set. All 4 films included. The Exorcist 3 Special Edition. Adam Egypt Mortimer's Daniel Isn't Real. Joe Dante's Matinee. Brian De Palma's Phantom of the Paradise. Next up, Third Window Films. Shion Sono's 4-hour masterpiece Love Exposure. Nobuhiko Obayashi's Anti-War trilogy, which are 3 of the final films he made. Not the very last one. That's coming for later. These are the 3 films he made before his last one. Casting Blossoms to the Sky, 7 Weeks, and Hanagatami. It's a really cool thing that opens up. It's even got a booklet there. Now we're getting back into Australian distributors with the Beyond Genres series. And these are actually numbered. I don't have all of them, but I would love to. Stuart Gordon's H.P. Lovecraft's Dagon. Russell McKay's Razorback. Peter Greenaway's The Cook, the Thief, His Wife and Her Lover. James Gunn's Slither. And Andrei Zulawski's Possession. May have to blur that one. Boobies. Next up, 2 films by Imprint. Paul Thomas Anderson's Hard 8, Ridley Scott's The Duelists, Eureka, specifically their Masters of Cinema collection. Nobuhiko Obayashi's House, or Hausu, one of my favorite films of all time. And John Frankenheimer's Seconds, which is also a masterpiece. So they really are masters of cinema. The Cinema Cult, just the fancy slipcovers. Amazon Women on the Moon. Robert Fust's The Abominable Dr. Phibes, and the sequel, Dr. Phibes Rises Again. Dario Argento's The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Terry Gilliam's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And Stanley Kubrick's The Killing, which also comes with a copy of Killer's Kiss. And a few more special ones, like these two from Studio Canal. Alain Resnais's Last Year in Marienbad, and Michael Powell's Peeping Tom. And this pretty snazzy edition of Gaspar Noé's Irreversible, which comes with the Blu-ray, a poster, and a booklet, in which you can see her boobies. I also have this fancy special edition of Premiere. Look at that cover, which comes with Blu-ray and art booklet. This limited edition version of Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight, which pretty much kick-started my addiction to fancy Blu-rays, which also comes with a really cool little booklet. My first ever fancy overseas Blu-ray was Don Hertzfeldt's It's Such a Beautiful Day, which is a really touching and beautiful animated film, which also comes with a really neat little booklet and a card of some kind. And I also have these really cool editions of Shazam and Aquaman, which is basically like a book about the film, and has a lenticular cover, which I think perfectly matches the theme of the film Shazam. But I also have one of these for Aquaman. I don't know why they didn't make any for the other DC films, but I'm still glad that I got these. This version of Nicholas Winding Refn's The Neon Demon comes with a really cool slipcover. I think it's pretty neat. It's really gold and shiny, but also the film cover is pink. This edition of Nightcrawler also comes with a really cool slipcover that is way better than the actual cover. Look at that shit. Funny little digibook of David Fincher's Gone Girl. Very thin cover. If more movies had covers like this, this collection, I'd probably be able to fit way more stuff into these shelves. So, this is a pretty cool, like even with the slipcover, this is really thin. Look at this. That's enough of the fancy schmancy Blu-rays. I think I've covered all of them. Now, for the steelbooks, of which there are only 3. My first ever steelbook was Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice by Zack Snyder. It's really cool, reversible cover like this. I got this really cheap at work because it had just been sitting there for, I guess, like 4 years since the movie came out. And it was really cheap when I got it on my staff price, and I had to, even though I already had it on Blu-ray. Because despite what some people might say, I do really love this movie. And following that would be Zack Snyder's Justice League. This also really cool cover. And I already bought that on Blu-ray because I missed the pre-order for this originally. And one of my co-workers bought 2 by accident. So when he returned this one, he gave it to me. I still paid for it, but yeah. I also have Zack Snyder's Justice League on Blu-ray because I got it when the Steelbook was sold out. And possibly the coolest member of the Steelbook family is Nobuhiko Obayashi's final film, Labyrinth of Cinema, which comes with a cool little slipcover like that. It's a really, really pretty Steelbook, as you can see from here. But it also comes with some postcards for some reason, and a really neat little booklet about the film. And this was the first release from the wonderful people over at Crescendo House. Very limited run, and I'm glad I got one, because I love this film. Now for the box sets. This is one of my most prized possessions. The Evil Dead Anthology. Yeah, I'll take it out of the box for you. Right here is a Necronomicon, right? Book of the Dead. Comes with a bunch of cool artwork relating to the films, and then the films themselves on Blu-ray, the original trilogy and the remake, and then the 3 DVDs worth of documentaries and special features. I haven't even watched all of it. I've seen a good chunk of them, but not all of them. But not only this, it's not very easy to get into the box because I think it is actually real leather or very convincing plastic leather. But not only that, comes with a dagger. And I do love the Evil Dead films, all 4 of them. I also own Ash vs. Evil Dead, the complete series, all 3 seasons. The Bong Joon-ho collection, which comes with Barking Dogs Never Bite, Memories of Murder, The Host, Mother, Parasite, and some short films that I still have yet to watch. The entire series of Breaking Bad, and also this cool edition of El Camino, which comes with a limited edition cover that looks different to the normal one. I like this cover, it's pretty cool. The complete Nightmare on Elm Street collection, all 4 Scream films. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, which was basically the series that got me interested in anime in the first place. So this is to blame for how I turned out. The entire series of Cowboy Bebop, and the movie. The entire series of Gurren Lagann. This funny little collection of animated Justice League movies. 18 Batman films. There's some really good ones here, there's some pretty crappy ones. Kind of annoyed that Batman Hush wasn't included in it, but beggars can't be choosers. The entire series of Adventure Time. That's all of it there. One thing to note about this box set is that it says it comes with the episode Diamonds and Lemons, which is the Minecraft one. It says that right here on the back. It's not in there. I don't know why. So it's not actually the entire series of Adventure Time, because it's missing 1 episode. Bunch of random Stephen King movies and TV shows. I don't know, just some cool stuff in here. The It 2 film collection, with both of them. Another pretty cool gift from my friend Scott is this neat collection of films by Werner Herzog, featuring actor Klaus Kinski, which is UK region, and they're DVDs, so I can't play them in my DVD player. And it's also missing a film. It's missing the film Wojciech. The one film I can play, Fitzcarraldo, is the one film I have already seen. I should get a region-free Blu-ray player someday, so that I can watch a lot of these that I own without having to worry about finding the UK version or finding some obscure Australian thing on eBay that costs $60. So I probably should get a region-free Blu-ray player soon. I can't exactly remember when or why I bought this. I haven't watched it yet, but the entire series of Penny Dreadful. It looks really interesting, and I do need to get around to it. I suck at watching TV shows. I'll be the first to admit, I watch so many movies, but I suck at watching TV shows. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just, I think it's just the time that it takes to get to the end of the story. I don't know. I can watch like a 3-hour movie in one sitting, but it can take me weeks and even months to finish a season of TV. Robert Rodriguez' El Mariachi trilogy comes with El Mariachi, Desperado, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Robert Rodriguez is one of my all-time inspirations. I even have his book, Rebel Without a Crew. 2 more filmmaker box sets I need to get around to completing. The Andrei Tarkovsky collection. I got this motherfucker in high school, and I still haven't watched all of them, because half of these movies are 3.5 hours, you know. Francois Truffaut collection, of which I've still only seen one film. So yeah, also have this funny little collection of Jackie Chan films. I've got these funny little collections as well of Universal horror films from the 30s till the 50s. Bunch of Dracula films, bunch of Mummy films, bunch of Frankenstein films, bunch of Wolfman films. Watched all of these last year with my mates. And The Fly Ultimate Collection, which comes with the original films from the 50s and also the remake from the 80s and its sequel. That's 5 Fly films. That about wraps up the video because I'm tired and I've made a mess of my bedroom, but also because I've kind of shown you everything that I wanted to show you. The cool special editions, the boutiques, the overseas stuff, and basically the fancy schmancy Blu-rays that you can't just get at a random retail shop. Once again, if you want a more in-depth look at my collection, there's a link in the description below to a letterboxd list which has every single film here listed in that. It's somewhere over 500 films because there are obviously some box sets and double films and stuff. And if you'd like to see me go more in-depth into it, let me know in the comments below and I'll gladly do it in a year. In a year from now, when my collection has grown way more and I have more like stuff to show off, I can also just go more in-depth into like all of it too. It'd be a considerably longer video than this one, but I think this is a pretty good video to kind of introduce you to my physical collection. I would 100% be down to do a more in-depth video later on. Right now, I just kind of wanted to show you the cool stuff. If you really like collecting stuff like this, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to see your collection, actually. I love looking at people's collections. That's why I wanted to show off mine. This outro and video in general has gone on for long enough, so see ya!